to answer that, the BSIT program of UA&P has helped me a lot throughout my career. But to put things in a better perspective, let's start from the time after I graduated and started in a telecommunications company. So it was a large telco company, the first GSM at the time, telco. My job then was business development. So it was under customer service, but my responsibilities then was to come up with systems that would enhance customer service. Now, the beauty of BSIT, the BSIT program of UA&P is that, to me, there are three major, I would say, pillars that were very helpful. Number one was the management, the business management courses, the business management communication. So on the IT side, it's the project management. The second pillar is the applications, giving a high-level overview of software at the time, of software applications that were relevant at the time. And the third being networking. So pretty much infrastructure-related networking essentials. So to me, those are the three things that helped me a lot, that aided me into being where I am now. So in short, it helped me a lot succeed in many of the in the responsibilities given to me. I was able to apply pretty much all of those. So going back to the telco company, the first thing that I was able to use was pretty much project management. I was assigned a project, so I was able to apply, meaning that the typical requirements gathering that you needed to do, identifying the problem, and coming up with a solution. And it starts with the BRD, as you would say, business requirements document. And from there, it would lead to vendor selection. First of all, proof of concept. And then it would come the vendor selection. So to those who are in such fields, I'm sure you can relate into those phases of project management. Thereafter, you would have to coordinate with several units in the company, ranging from IT to their risk, to be able to manage the project. And throughout the project, and even in the requirements gathering phase, somehow, I was also able to apply at the time, for example, to a certain extent, application knowledge as well. At the time, SQL was the thing, and I think up to now, it's still very relevant. So pretty much the discipline, the applications change, but the beauty of BSIT is that it's the discipline. It's a good balance of management and tech-related. So given that I didn't really want to focus on, for example, development, but given that the field where the career that I chose is pretty much a balance of both. So going back on the high-level application side, I was able to relate to the project that we were about to implement. Then fast forward to banking. Same. I was with IT for a top bank as well. I pretty much handled several projects. Again, I was able to apply the project management related course, and surprisingly, the networking essentials, one of the subjects back then during my time, I was still able to apply the same in the simple things. Like, for example, when I headed the ATM channels and the automated teller machines, handling it as a business, and at the same time looking after the operations. So for example, all ATMs are pretty much within it. These are also CPUs. So they're very much connected. So when you go through operations, you deal with downtime, you identify the problem. So the components from a wireless and a wired connection and securing the connection. So the terms such as SSL, Secured Socket Layer, which is now, by the way, Transport Layer Security or TLS. Now it used to be then 1.0. Now with the payment card industry data security standard, it's now at 1.2. So if you look at it, the discipline is the same, but the appreciation of these things, you know, the details back then, I still get to apply up to this day. And as I moved on, you know, as I went through as I went up to the corporate ladder, now you would have to be able to present to senior management, even at board level, requests for budget, justifying enhancements in the system, and what better way to equip yourself but with the training of business communications. I think the course back then, you know, I would say it was very thorough. The practice sessions then, being able to communicate really what you need, explaining to senior management really the benefit, the cost benefit of a specific project. So all that, giving the understanding, giving the questions that they throw, especially if it's technology related, you have to be able to explain that in layman's term. But at the same time, when you deal with the project working team, you would have to speak to the developers in a language, in a very, I would say, techie language. So the BSIT program pretty much helped me adjust. If I talk to a hardcore developer, I get to relay my requirements. When you get to talk to the seniors, who pretty much you cannot give them technical terms, you would have to translate that into layman's term. I was able to bridge that gap, and I can just say that indeed up to this day and age, I was able to practice the training and the discipline and the knowledge that I went through in BSIT. And I would say that when I took that course, meaning it was my primary choice, as given that I have my love for meaning primarily I love technology. So but I wanted a good balance of being able to fix, being able to come up with solutions, to problems, and applying technology at the same time when it comes to business, using technology as a leverage to make money for the company, of course, that you're working for. And all this discipline that I'm very fortunate that I still get to apply. So of course, over time, technology changes, but if you look at it, the basics, the discipline, it's all the same. And so I have no regrets, quite frankly, up to now, that I went through the program of BSIT.